All right, well, welcome back to another edition of the Hofstra Table. Today, we are going to make bruschetta, and we're going to make it 3 different ways. We're going to try one with a little bit of Fetta bruschetta, one we're going to do a little bit of a glaze that drizzles on top, and then another one, we're going to use this thing here, grind a little bit of this cheese on top. It's going to be so great. Let's go. Okay, so for today's bruschetta, we're going to start by dicing up these tomatoes. So you saw in one of the last videos, we cut up these tomatoes for the Hofstra tacos. We kind of just did one cross and then we cut it again. But this time we're going to turn it another 90 degrees and we're going to make it a little finer, right? We're going to give it a little extra chop. So each one is going to get one that way. We'll turn it, cut it again, right? And we're going to cut it little smaller pieces because this is going to go on some bread that we're going to toast in the oven, a little bit of olive oil on it, and the bread is smaller pieces, so we want to make sure everything marries together well, all the ingredients. And so we're going to cut all these up and get them into the bowl so that we're ready to go with the next ingredient, which is going to be a shallot. Okay, we've got all our tomatoes cut up, nice diced, real nice and small. We're going to go ahead and put them in our bowl, and then we're going to move on to the next ingredient, which is the shallot. So we'll do that next. We'll get this wiped up, and then we're going to move on to the shallot. So definitely got to use the shallot. This is much better than, well, let's see how we want to do this. I'm going to cut that tip off a little bit more. We're going to dice this real small too, as fine as we can get it. Peel that outer edge off. And these, we're going to kind of dice up the same way we do a regular onion. Make a nice cut across the bottom. Another one there. Maybe one more on top. Be careful. Okay, then we're going to take it, cut it here. Smaller pieces. One more. All right. And when you get to the end, you kind of just have to. And we're gonna just kind of give it an extra chop. All right. So now that we've got the shallot all diced up nice and small, we'll add that to our bowl. Don't leave anybody behind. Okay, so we've got the tomatoes all diced up, we've got the shallot all diced up, and now we're gonna go to the boss of this recipe, which is this, the basil. Oh man, it smells so good. Especially if you can grow it in your yard. My wife's been doing that, and so we got some started, but it's not ready yet. So we're gonna pull these leaves off of here, on here, and then we're gonna kind of just layer them on top of each other. Probably need about, for this size recipe, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I like a lot of basil in it, so maybe 6 or 7 leaves off. The stems have flavor too, so we'll use a little bit of the stems on the end. See if I can find the biggest one, which I think is this fella right here. I'm gonna put him on the outside. Take and roll that up as tightly as we can. Maybe fold that over a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little chiffonade. That's Italian. I looked it up, and it's pronounced chiffonade. So yeah, just a nice cross cut. And then we're gonna probably do a little finer cut. Chiffonade, I think, actually means cutting into ribbons, which you kind of see there. I'm going to use these stems too a little bit. See if I can get those. Look like little onions, right? Chives. All right, and I'm going to take that again. I'm going to turn the other way. Kind of give it another chop. Watch your fingers. Keep your knuckles down. Gordon Ramsay taught me that. I love Mr. Chef Gordon Ramsay. Sorry, Chef. Not Mr. Chef Gordon Ramsay. Pretty much my hero. So anyway, yeah, once we get that, I'm going to chop it up a little finer. Give it a little extra. All right, so now that we've got that, we're going to take that, put that right into our bowl. All right, the main ingredient. All right. Okay, so the final ingredient, garlic. Now you can use fresh garlic. I don't have a garlic press. I probably should get one. But I don't mind using this stuff. It's got the juices in there and everything. So for this recipe, I like a little extra garlic, right? So we're going to take probably about that much. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to get the, kind of smear it like we did before in our previous videos, right? That kind of breaks out the flavors a little bit. Put that in there. But then I'm also going to put some of that directly in there. Probably just as much. About that much. How's that look? Garlic. Who doesn't love garlic? All right. So now that we've got all those ingredients put in together, we'll stir it up a little bit, and then we'll start adding some of the spices. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, now that we've got everything all chopped up, we got it in the bowl, we're going to give it a good stir, right? Get those flavors to start marrying together. All right? Oh, that basil smells so good. It's so fresh. Look at how red those tomatoes are. Oh, it looks so good. It smells even better. And now, once we got it all mixed up together, we'll start putting into the spices. You got to say it with an Italian accent because it's an Italian dish. Now what we'll probably do is about a tablespoon and a half olive oil. And then I'm going to use this stuff. It's a balsamic vinegar, but it's got a little bit of lemon in there. My wife picked that up at one of those stores that sells all that stuff. Yeah, about that much. I would say that's half a tablespoon. And of course you got to have a good dredge of salt. Probably a good teaspoon. A little bit of pepper. All right, now just mix all that together. Let it all start marrying up. Oh, it smells so good. And that's pretty much it to get the stuff ready to put on top of the bread. That right there is bruschetta. So we're going to put this into the fridge, let it cool off a little bit while we cut up our bread and get it toasted. Come right back. All right, the bruschetta is cooling in the fridge. So now we're going to go ahead and cut up our bread. This is a good French baguette. French baguette for an Italian dish. Can you do that? We're doing it. Don't kill me, Gordon. Now, I'm going to cut this on a nice long angle. Yeah, there we go. More surface area to put the bruschetta on. And probably about a ½ inch thick. You can go thicker, thinner. I like about that. ½ inch thick. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I'm going to do is put these on a baking sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I counted wrong, but I guess I didn't. We're going to do with that. Spread them out a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of the olive oil. Drizzle it on here. Each one. Don't have to be all neat with it. Just getting a little bit of dredge on there. That one needs some more love. Okay, we're going to put these into our preheated oven at 400 degrees, probably about 7 or 8 minutes. Get them nice and toasted up. All right, let's go. All right, we've got our toasted baguette out of the oven. Brought them out here. We're going to make them 3 different ways, right? We're going to do one, a Fetta bruschetta, and then we're going to do one with a balsamic glaze, and then we'll do another section with some of this Parmesan cheese on it. It's so good. So we'll start building them. About a handful in each one, right? So when you get this, you bring it out for your guest, you want to eat it right away, right? Get it ready, or you can put it aside so they can build their own. That works too. So we'll put it on each one. Doesn't that look so good? And it smells even better. This is such a great appetizer. And it's easy. And guess what else? It's healthy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be pretty, but we kind of want it to be pretty, don't we? Okay, so 3 different ways. Take a little feta. That makes so get the saltiness of the bruschetta really brings out the flavors. I had this at a restaurant one. They called it feta bruschetta, and I was like, "That sounds good. Let's try that." And it was so good. Okay, and then this thing here we're going to use. I love this thing. I found it at an estate sale. Get that cheese in there. Look at how good this looks now. Right, a little bit of that. Give it a tap. And the last one, we're going to take that balsamic glaze, just drizzle it over. It looks so good. And there you go. 3 different ways to do bruschetta. It's so good. And the only thing left to do is taste it. And guess who's going to try out the bruschetta tonight? The cameraman right there. His name is Scotty. Come around here, Scotty. All right, here we go. It's a taste test. The moment you've all been waiting for. It's going to be so good. My son, Scotty Joe, right here. Which one are you going to go for, Scotty?
I was thinking about it the whole time. I was holding the camera.
Yeah, and
my mouth is just watering the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Right?
I'm going to go with the feta bruschetta.
Me too. And by the way, if you didn't have one of those little cool little rotary things, you can just use the microplane for that one. And I think that's my favorite. So you go with the feta, right? I think I'm going to go in one of these right here. All right, come on in close. Got to get that crunch from here, right? Go ahead, Scotty. You go first. Oh, that's so good, right?
Oh my Lord.
Man.
I'm going to need some to go.
Right?
Yeah. Oh.
It's fresh. It's healthy. It's so good. Hey, try it at home. I think your guests will love it. It's a great appetizer. So next time, come on back to the Hofstra table. We'll try something new. Hey, I'm thinking about trying a couple of different recipes. What do you think you guys would like to see? I'm thinking maybe an apple cake next time. Does that sound something sweet? And so we'll see. Give me some suggestions down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on the Hofstra table.